This is the sixth video working on this pool table project in Blender, and in the last video we set up some scale, materials, and mirrored one set of these pockets over to the other side of the table. And I noticed watching the playback on my video that when setting my materials I actually missed a face, and it was one face in the rail. I believe I said there was 5 faces or 4 faces in the rail when there was actually 5, and I skipped the bottom of the railing. I didn't set a material to that, and incidentally it's holding the appropriate material right now, but I thought it was worth mentioning because everybody might not add their materials in the same order as me, and it's best to have these materials set properly in place. So with that done, I'm going to go into edges mode because I like that for selecting and filling in faces. We're going to start filling in some of the faces. So I'll just join up the portions of faces that need to be joined up, and it should be fairly obvious. Basically, we'll just be joining the identical faces on each side of the table. So we'll join up the ones in the railing and the wood, and it's easy to tell that all these are getting the wrong material and that we do have to set up materials for these. So that's the bottom of the rail, and then I'll start doing the felt. But we'll get around to the materials in due course, and it's really not that difficult to set this part up. It's really just some faces, and not that many of them at that. And join these two up, and then one more set here it looks like, which doesn't want to select easily for me. There we go. We'll select this last one. And then it'd probably be easiest to go into vertices mode, because we might as well finish up the base of the table, the felt area. So we'll select the 4 corners on that. Which will come to the center of the side pockets. We'll fill in a face there. So since we have that face selected already, we'll set the felt material first. So we can zoom in on that. Rock it back a bit so we can see better. And zoom in. Select the rest of that felt. I'll just brush select that. Set that to be felt material. The rails were already built with the rail material, so about all that's left is a couple of faces of wood. So we'll set those to wood. And that's that. Pretty easy. Like I said, at this point in the project, things really speed up a lot. So we're ready to mirror this for the other side. We'll want to ensure that our pivot's on 3D cursor. Shift C to ensure it's centered on the origin. Select all. Shift duplicate. Drop it where it's at. Mirror along Y. And drop it there. Select all. And remove doubles. So come down here. Remove doubles. That removes 108 doubles. And those doubles were in the areas of the 2 side pockets where there was actually 2 copies of them. So that's perfectly normal. Now, there's one more thing we need to do to complete the top of this table, and that is to join these two together. And there's different ways we can do that. Let's see, I believe that Alt-M or Control-M. Not sure, I can't remember the hotkeys for that. Let's come into the mesh dialog. If all else fails, we can look in this menu to learn the hotkeys. So merge is Alt-M. And we'll merge at center. That will pull those two vertices into the center. Then we can remove doubles. There'll be one. Oh, they were merged, so there was no doubles there. And we can do the same thing to the other side of the table. So we'll select this one and this one. Alt-M, merge at center. Removed one vertices. And that takes care of that. Now our table's pretty much whole, and I'll glance at my time to see what else we can do here. Well, we've still got a few minutes left, so might as well deselect everything, zoom in a bit, and brush select the outer edge of the table. So we'll brush select this and that. And zoom in so we can see this section better. We don't want to select too much. And come over to the other side. Get this one. Select that. And then get this end. So that's the entire outer edge of the table. And what we'll do with that is we'll extrude it, only edges, drop it where it's at, and scale that out a little bit. And we'll pay attention to the size of, let me start that again from a little closer. We'll pay attention to the side of the table and the size of it. We're not going to extrude it out by very much. And then we're going to want to look at the bottom, because the bottom is going to scale out more than the top, than the sides. So we're going to scale that along Y and tuck that in a little bit so that they're more matching. And then look at it from a front view. And what this is going to be is a little bevel in the edge. So we're just going to pull it down a little bit. And not by a lot, it's just a little small bevel. And then we can extrude that down again, only edges, drop it where it's at, and pull it down so it covers the pockets. And how far is really up to taste. If we use Control 7, we can look at the bottom of the table. And we can put that on to a bit of an angle too, so we can scale that inwards a touch. And we'll want to pay attention to the top because it's going to scale inwards quicker than the sides. So then we would scale according to the top and then scale again along X to sort of pull the sides in so they match a little bit better. And we definitely don't want to pull that edge inside of the pocket. So we'll want to watch out for doing that. And that's pretty much it. Our tabletop is done. I don't think I'll have enough time to do any legs. We're going to do very simple basic legs onto this into the next video. And then we're going to look at how to do UV wrappings onto this model. So that'll be in the coming videos, and until then, happy modeling.